Welcome to Fix With Me, where we make DIY repairs and learn along the way. Today we're going to be looking at my project car. While putting the motor in, I found a snapped exhaust bolt, so we're going to be tearing it down, pulling the heads off, and seeing what we can do about it. Let's go. To be honest, I wasn't planning on tearing down the engine for an exhaust bolt. After getting the motor in, I found the throwout bearing was leaking and I had no clutch. Now that I have to pull the motor, I think it's a good time to take care of it. This is going to be the start of a series showing the progress I've made and my future planned projects for the car. I'm going to start by removing the coil pack and the valve cover. It's just been a little while since I looked at the insides and I needed a little refresher. Then I'm going to start going around the intake manifold, removing bolts. While I get this apart, a little history on the car. I picked this up about 2 years ago with a seized engine and transmission. So, after trying to free it up for a little while, I decided to do an LS swap. Spent some time getting everything together, and now we're ready to get going on it. Once the intake manifold is free, I'm going to go around removing some more bolts and the coolant crossover, just to make sure I got space to remove all of the head bolts. Now I'm going to start removing the rocker arms, the push rods, and the rail. Started to give me a little resistance, so reach for the impact. Try to save my arms. We're going to need those a little bit. Now with all those removed, we're going to go in and start removing the head bolts. Once we get down to the larger ones, the impact is not going to be enough, and this is where our arms are going to come into play with the breaker bar. When I say breaker bar, I know it's a steel pipe, but hey, we work with what we got. With the bottom row free, I go back in and start breaking loose the center bolts. There we go. Now that everything's loose, we're just going to come in and pull it all out with the impact. After I get the head off, I'm going to do a quick inspection, and you'll see that I actually find a piece of O-ring from one of the injectors sitting on the lifter. Now that that's all clear, we're going to go ahead, take off the other coil pack and valve cover, and start working on getting that head free. Coming back in with the breaker bar, making sure everything's nice and loose for the impact. And with just a few turns of the impact, you will see the head comes free. Now that we got the head on my workbench, you can see here we have the snapped bolt. It's about 1/8 of an inch down in there. We're going to have to build up a little bit of material on there. before we were able to pull it out, but let's get started. This is what we're going to be using to weld today. It is a Thulium TL135M gasless flux core. Doesn't look like much, but it gets the job done. We're going to start the process by cleaning our surface with a wire wheel. Then we'll be going in with a center punch and making a little divot, in which we're going to drill a small channel that we will fill with new weld material. After getting the clamp on, we're going to start building up a little bit of material on that bolt. Alright, we're just going to build this up little by little. All right. Now, let's tack this nut in place. That is loosely in place. I say loosely, very loosely. Now let's crank up that feed and load her up. Now that things are cooled off a little bit, I'm just going to go in with a penetrant spray and try to get it down into the threads. It'll help with unscrewing it later. And now with things completely cool, I'm going to start slowly backing out the new bolt head. Within the first few turns, you should know whether or not it's going to snap off again. Luckily for me, it didn't.
And there we go.
And that's all there is.
Until there's nothing left but more darkness and nightmarish giant insects feasting on what remains of her slowly deteriorating mind. Yeah, let's just go if it was just a dream.